I'm pissed, and I hope other people that will just get as pissed off as I am today. The woman's right to draw the line of who can make that decision for her own body, and I trust women to do that.
It was just really wow. I mean, I can't believe this is happening. I was hoping maybe something would go differently. Contraceptives, right to privacy in your marriage, right to who you marry. It's much bigger than the moment we're here today. I'm going to stay here and fight. I'll be here.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo here, another episode of What's Next. As always, your daily dose of common sense and facts, weekend edition. Yes, on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. Wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying it, taking advantage of the sunshine. And, yeah. Well, we are less than 24 hours, actually a little bit more than, I think it is 24 hours at this point. That the bombshell heard around the world about Roe v. Wade being overturned. Yes, Roe is dead. And those who adhere to defending the life of the innocent, the most innocent of them all, who cannot defend themselves in the womb, are joyful, but it is a bittersweet victory. Now, of course, to the left, they're screaming bloody murder. Oh, this is the first of many rights that will be taken away from us. How dare the Supreme Court? Wow. I'm going to leave that in my thoughts. But in this segment, we're going to talk about, and I know the left is going to love this, how Maga has a huge credit in overturning Roe. Let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. Nolte, John Nolte, only the Maga movement could have ended the atrocity of Roe. There he is, King Troll himself. If you consider yourself a pro-life Republican and weren't on the Trump train in 2016, sit your pansy ass down, or your candy ass, as The Rock would put it. Had you and your precious principles won the day, Hillary Clinton would have appointed those 3 Supreme Court justices instead of Donald Trump, and the moral atrocity known as Roe would still be a quote-unquote constitutional right. We see you out there pretending that's not the case, but you look ridiculous. For decades, the Republican establishment ran around promising to overturn Roe. For decades, they failed. And instead of Trump all-stars like Kavanaugh, Barrett, Gorsuch, we got Sandra Day O'Connor, Kennedy, Roberts, and Souter. Roe is dead for only one reason. Well, I'll give my thoughts, but the MAGA movement. Without the MAGA movement, there is no President Trump. Without President Trump, there is no end to Roe. Elections matter. Never Trump. Elections matter, and despite constant warnings from the MAGA movement that your support for Hillary and refusal to support for Trump were, of course, supporting Hillary meant losing the Supreme Court, your pansies still went out ahead and supported Hillary. You hid behind your principles. You hid behind your decency. You hid behind, quote-unquote, virtue. And now you're out there celebrating the end of Roe. You're hiding behind the hope that everyone forgets that not only you deserve no credit for this triumph, but you aggressively and shamelessly fought to ensure Roe will never be overturned. Well, trust me, we haven't forgotten. It's just a smidge of humility will go a long way. But your so-called principles and decency and virtue does not include humility, so we won't hold our breaths. During the 2016 election, a couple of good people were running on the Republican side for president, but I will tell you right now, not a single one of those 16 have ever withstood the flaming arrows Trump did to get 3 Supreme Court justices over the finish line. Look at what the Democrats did. Of course, in the corporate media, allies did not stop Brett Kavanaugh. How those pigs fabricated a serial rapist narrative. Name one of the 16 Republicans candidates who would have stood by Kavanaugh, who wouldn't have pulled that nomination trigger as one false accusation after another sailed over the transom. After the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, yes, the infamous RBG, look at the stones it took to nominate Amy Coney Barrett in the middle of a presidential election. Which one of those 16 candidates would have had the moral courage, had the balls, especially after the Hell Kavanaugh nomination? Maybe a couple of those guys would have held their grounds, one, but both, no way. In no way in hell. In fact, it's hard to imagine any one of those 16 candidates nominated those 3 perfect all-stars. Don't forget that the media jihad against Coney Barrett goes back to years before her nomination. You know, the scary Catholic breeding lady. No, it's just the fact that without the MAGA movement, we are kept right on losing and losing and losing. Had the feckless, cowerless, go to get along, Chamber of Commerce, Coke, addicted, Romney, McCain, Bush, National Review, GOP won today, Hillary Clinton would have won and Roe would have been affirmed last week by a overwhelming 7-2 majority. Of course, we know the two. Alito and Justice Thomas, excuse me. And it wasn't just Donald Trump who made it possible. You have to look at the whole movement, especially new media outlets like Breitbart, that accomplished 2 very important things. We rebelled against a weak-kneed surrender establishment that put the Koch brothers above the working class. And 2, we went to war against corporate media. We demanded our candidates to do the damn same. What's more, we shattered the stupid suicidal premises entirely. The corporate media had been hoodwinking the GOP for decades. You must appeal to the political middle, condescend to racial minorities, compromise to get things done. Yes, you must be diverse. You must be inclusive. Demographics are our destiny. Our fake polls are our gospel. Don't touch our fabricated third rails like abortion. Most of all, we, the corporate media, reflect reality and not a Potemkin reality. We fabricate to pretend everyone in America agrees with us. It was all bullshit, and the MAGA movement finally came and called the fake media out on their bullshit and found a candidate like Donald Trump who agreed with us and had the sand to stick to the principles that mattered. Meanwhile, GOP, smart set, stood by a fake, selfish, suicidal principles because that's what a few million dead babies compared to my spot at the establishment trial. As I write this, Never Trump continues to prove how unprincipled and discredited they are by refusing to acknowledge that they had won the day in 2016, killing an innocent baby would have still been a constitutional right. Not to mention all the other fascist horrors. A 6-3 Hillary court would have been raining down on us like fire. Nope, Roe's dead only because of the MAGA movement. So take a bow, MAGA boys and girls. While you're bent over doing so, tell a Never Trumper to kiss your ass. Wow. My thoughts. There are a couple of things that are slight disagreement with John Nolte's article. I don't give total credit to the MAGA movement. You have to get credit to those who came before him. You have to get credit to the men and women who came out every single year at the Fight for Life movement, once a year when they came out to DC and came out by the hundreds of thousands. You got to give credit to the pro-life men and women who stood at the forefront, who stood there and took the slings and arrows. You got to give credit to the men and women who were in these death mills of Planned Parenthood, who saw the light, broke away from it, and said, I'm going to fight to defend the innocent. You got to give credit to those like Lila Rose, who live action for the last decade has been out there swinging away, chipping away at Roe over and over and over again, getting involved in states over and over and over again to finally pass laws to defend the innocent. You have to give credit to all these people, all those, like the Mark Levins, like the Steven Crowders, like the John Noltes, like those at Breitbart, like Glenn Beck, like Tucker Carlson, like others in the media who continue to chip away by putting out scientific facts, not just by faith alone, but scientific facts on why abortion is so abhorrent. And at the end of the day, you do give credit to President Donald Trump. You do give credit to him for having the balls to stick by his 3 candidates, knowing that slings and arrows will be coming for them, that the pitchforks and tiki torches will be coming for them, that the axes will be coming for them. And yet, he stood by them all. So, I tip my hat to President Donald Trump for sticking to his guns and doing what's right. Because at the end of the day, Roe is dead. And now the battle begins at the state level. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.